Happy Friday, guys. We've made it. If losing things wasn't so frustrating, I think it would be my spiritual gift. Okay, I'm great at losing things. I remember in high school, me and my family were just about to leave the house when I do the good old pocket pat, and I realize I don't have my phone. I don't know what's going on. So I go back in the house and I'm looking around. I'm looking under couch cushions and in my room and checking, maybe did I leave it here? And there's nothing. I see nothing. So I go tell my mom, and if you don't know this about moms, they have some sort of superpower to find things when you can't. So my mom comes in and she's looking and she's scanning, and she also does not see it. She's like, it's not here. And if mom doesn't find it, it's not there. Okay, you can trust her. But what begins is a family-wide search for my phone through the house. We have dad checking in cupboards. We have brother checking people's beds and making sure it wasn't taken. And it's just everyone is splitting up and looking, and we cannot find this phone. And so as I start to panic a little bit, I get this feeling of desperation. Come on, what is this? And well, finally, I am panicked and desperate, and I just think, maybe there's no way it's in this spot, but maybe. And so I go, and I open up the refrigerator, just thinking maybe, and there it is, right next to the milk. And I don't know, I don't even know how I got there. It was just random and weird. And this is a really goofy example of a time I felt desperate, and it really wasn't that serious. But me and you have all had a time in our life where we felt true desperation. A problem in our lives that we were like, hey, I don't know the answer to this. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know what to do. And I say this because the people in our story today are people in a truly desperate situation. And so I want to ask that as we read this text, you would remember a time in your life where you felt these same feelings. Just to understand a little better what's going on as we resonate with them. So, because the text we're in is Matthew 9:19 through 22, if you will read with me. And Jesus rose and followed him with the disciples. And behold, a woman who had suffered from a discharge of blood for 12 years came up behind Jesus and touched the fringe of his garment. For she said to herself, if only I touch his garment, I will be made well. Jesus turned, and seeing her, he said, take heart, daughter, your faith has made you well. And instantly the woman was made well. Okay. 12 years is a long time for anyone to live with something like this, especially because what this would do for her, not just health-wise, but socially. Because of this, she would have been considered unclean. She would have been cast out of town due to the Jewish law, living in pretty much isolation for a long time. 12 years is a long time to spend alone, and I'm sure she sought everything she could do to try and end this. But nothing. Nothing. The text never tells us what she really thought about Jesus, if she was a loyal follower or she just knew that he was different than the rest and he had some power. But we do know this. She was certain that Jesus was the answer to her desperate situation, to her problem. And I think that's why when Jesus turns to her, he says, your faith has made you well. Her healing had little to do with the garment and everything to do with Jesus, right? Like a magic robe. No, it was Jesus who healed her. And this passage and passage like this makes me wonder what it would be like for me and you to have faith like this woman. To have faith like this woman, to be utterly convinced that the only thing that will ever get us out of the situations we find ourselves in is Jesus. And listen, as I say this, I get this is kind of a tough sentiment to carry at times, because we don't often get healed when we pray for healing, you know? Or maybe our situations are a little different than needing healing. It's in our financial struggles, our marriages, the craziness of life and work and just everything. And we wonder, how is Jesus going to work in the middle of a situation like this? Well, I always find deep encouragement in the book of Philippians. Philippians 1:21 says, For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. This is Apostle Paul, and he writes this in regards to his potential execution. And pretty much what he says to everybody, the church in Philippi that he's writing to, is either I'm here serving with Jesus or I'm in heaven with him. Either way, I'm good. For us to have faith that Jesus is the answer to all of life's problems doesn't mean everything turns out the way that we think it should, that we do get the promotion we're praying for, we do get the healing we're praying for. It's not what it means, but rather it's knowing that Jesus can change our situations, but knowing rain or shine, we still have Christ, so we can endure because Jesus is all we need. Thank you.